You're watching Pitch2Production, the show where we take a random idea and turn it into a film, all within a month. Now, without further ado, lights, camera, action. Hey, what's up? How's it going? So this is P2P, Pitch2Production, and I am Mayor. Nice to talk to you. All right, cool. Let's get it going. So last time we left off, we are making a film, a romance for the first time, called Dog Ear, a story about a young man that falls in love with a librarian, same age, and he finds out that the librarian is deaf. So we had to figure out how he's going to communicate with her. So we talked about the pitch, but let's talk about what it means to make a script. Now, as for the first month, we already, talked about making a horror script, and that had its own things. But this time it's a romance script, and the gimmick is that there's no dialogue. So, can I get the script, please, if you have it on screen? And then, so the thing with scripts is that it's very much like it's oriented in a way where the dialogue takes up most of the space. So even though dialogue can take, let's say we have like a scene with two people and it's a long conversation, it's like 3 pages long, right? That may end up being like 2 minutes, a minute and a half, depending on how the actors deliver their lines, right? But the thing with no dialogue is that it looks all condensed. If I scroll down, it's just action, action, description, action, 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 action. There's no like dialogue bits other than a couple things. So for this one specifically, there's only going to be 3 spoken lines, and even then, the characters are going to be signing, and it's not actually going to be them moving their mouths. So that's called non-diegetic sound, where the sound isn't heard by the characters in the scene, but the audience hears that sound and can interpret that it's, it works towards the scene even though it's not technically part of the scene, if that makes sense. So starting off, we have interior media counter day. I should have specified FAU media counter because my actors already know what I mean by media counter, but the people that aren't reading it aren't my cast, let's say if they were like investors, wouldn't know. So I should have put interior FAU media counter. So the first month we made the pitch from scratch, and you guys saw me make the script from scratch as well. But for this one, I already planned ahead because it just, I had to produce this ahead of time too, so I had to make everything ahead of time. This is going to be quite a tight episode talking about script because the second half we're going to be talking about the actual production, and then tune in next week because we're going to have the final product. Okay, so the script, we have to follow around the characters. The characters are Juji, who is in his 20s, man in love with Calliope, who is the deaf librarian, and they try to talk to each other. However, there's some obstacles in the way, that obstacle mostly being Kurt, who's another librarian that just wants to get stuff done and doesn't have time for romance like this. So we start with the first scene. The 2 first lines, or the 2 first paragraphs, are usually descriptions. The first one is the area, and the second one is the character and the relative space. So the first paragraph, we have a 5-story library with clean paint and decor, yada, yada, yada. You can pause if you'd like to read the rest of it, but I'm going to go quick with this. And then second paragraph, Juji, 20s, race variable, approaches the information desk with a book in hand. At the desk are 2 seats. Kurt sits in one, and Calliope sits in the other. And I even put behind him to the right where Calliope is sitting so that the actor or the actress knows where to sit during the scene. This is important for something called blocking. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the steps that, cool. It's basically the steps that that the actors take or the actresses take. I appreciate that, by the way, Joshua, tuning into Now the Hangout, new show. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's basically where the actors go so that when we rehearse or when we shoot, we already got it down pat, right? So we know where they go, and then there's a line that says zoom of the book Juji's holding as he drops it. That's a shot. So that tells my cinematographer what to do, what the director envisions, Granted, the cinematographer has most of the authority of how the shot should look, but if the director wants to do a special thing, then the director gets the final say, right? So then we have the next action. Juji drops off a book with dog ears. Dog ears are folds of the pages. Calliope groans silently and starts to unfold the pages. And then, yeah, so that's the scene. And then title card imposed over shot. That's the type of shot as well. That means the title card is going to be over the shot. If you've ever seen like a dramatic movie, it's like maybe there's a scene and then just boom, shot right there. So, or not shot right there, the title right there. But that was the idea I was going for. Cut to is transition, if you see it right here. I'm gonna circle it for you. So yeah, so the idea is to make a script as thorough as possible so that everybody knows what they're doing, not just the actors and actresses, but the cinematographer, the script director, the supervisor, production assistants and so on. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit because it's basically like, your normal scenes. There's some dialogue right here. If you see whispering, this is called a parenthetical, which means that it's basically the director's description of how a character should act, right? So if I didn't write that, it'd say, Juji would say like, hey, what are you reading earlier? But since I put whispering, he's gonna whisper that line in the delivery. So yeah, skip more. Then, yeah, so the more this script goes on, the more we see that Calliope is also interested in Juji, and I wanted to make sure that there were shots or scenes where it was like just Calliope or majority Calliope so that we actually have that other side to the story, because I found a lot of romances, or let's say a lot of young love romances are kind of like one-sided, if that makes sense. So I want to show that it was two fronts. Kurt watches from above, then exits to the left. That's another thing. Yeah, so for this part, Kurt watches from above and then exits to the left. The idea was that I wanted him to be more villainous. If you ever notice, like a protagonist would probably move left to right. So that's because we Americans read left to right, so it's more natural for us to move our necks that way. It's not the same to move your neck from right to left. So if you try it out right now at home, move your neck left to right and then move your neck right to left. And right to left feels more unnatural. That's because we're more trained to move left to right. So that basically creates, from right to left, it creates like an unsettling feeling. So if Kurt exits from right to left, then it creates like an unsettling feeling. It's weird script psychology, but it actually works. So yeah, skip more. I don't really want to dive too deep into the script other than like the technical stuff, because you guys are actually going to see this film next Thursday. So tune in for that Thursday at 3, and hopefully I'll keep that a surprise. Hopefully I can and wait for what I was going to say. So we're going to keep going. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that the script was easy to digest so that everybody knew what was going on. It's different from like narrative writing because sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It's different from narrative writing because it's more like not descriptive, but it's more like it more establishes an aesthetic in the story itself because there is no visual aspect to it. It's very much like they say certain things, or a lot of things rather, so that we can picture in our minds. But since this is an actual picture, we can be more precise with the words. So let's say right here. So this is scene 8. She sees Juji, lets go of the cart and approaches him. So it's bit by bit. She sees Juji. Next, she lets go of the cart. Next, she approaches him. So it's very bit by bit because we don't need to describe like, oh, she sees Juji in a waft of hair to the left, lets go of the cart and then walks gingerly. The car was made of metal. So, but we don't need to do all of that. We can just picture it, or we can see it because it's going to be a picture. This is just pure direction. Approaches him. She sees the book and almost blushes. She can't help but smile. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. There's a lot of mail. One sec. Okay, so you guys can see that, but I just got a bunch of mail notifications. So let's go to this. Now this is a montage. So you guys know what a montage is. There's like a training scene. You know, they punch a bag of sand and they do some sit-ups and they do a Mr. Miyagi pose on a wooden post. You know how it is. So this story does have a montage as well. And actually, I don't want to reveal why it has a montage because again, you guys are going to see it. But how you write a montage, it is like, if I said bit by bit before, this is way more action oriented. So like, Juji reads the book excitedly. Juji practices signing. Juji dog ears the page. It's like bit by bit by bit by bit, and how we record it is just, okay, take, and then when you edit it together, it's gonna look like a cohesive montage. Now, I just said recording, so taking that tangent, let's take a break, and then right after, I'm gonna talk about the actual production process behind this with some detailed notes that I took. So, without further ado, I'll be right back.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy Shop Brooklyn Cafe. Our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Hope you grabbed some popcorn. Pitch2Production comes back in 5, 4, 3. And welcome back to the show. All right, so as we left before the break, we talked about the script. Now we're going to actually talk about the production. So one moment while I pull up the script breakdown, and you'll see exactly what I meant by the production notes. Now these are very intensive notes with a lot of like marks and stuff like that, as you'll see soon, and that's to help with departments. Now I didn't talk about departments before because that's a production thing, but when you make a film, it's not just going to be the director or like the producer, cinematographer. It's a lot that goes down. Now this was granted a student film, so we didn't have a big crew, but if you do want to work in like the business professionally, then you do need to know how to do a script breakdown. So one moment as I pull it up. In the script breakdown, the function of that is just so that the departments know what to do. And you want to make sure you do every single detail, or else if you miss it, there's a chance that let's say the coat you wanted for one scene doesn't show up on set one day. And what happens? You have to slow down production in order to get a coat that you could have got 3 days ago and detailed. So 1 second. While we're waiting, how you guys doing? How you doing? Talk to me. You can call into the studio at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Talk to me. All right? And maybe we can make something together. Maybe we can make a pitch or a treatment. So Like my song, it's copyright free. So almost there, guys. One sec. It opened on a different tab, so you guys can't see it yet. This is a little behind the scenes sneak peek. So one sec. Where are you at? Okay. You guys can't see this, so let me do something real quick. So what happened was that it opened on a different browser, so now I have to set this up entirely. Hey, whoa. Okay, so we're gonna do something a little dumb. I'm gonna actually turn the laptop screen, and we're gonna have to trust me, okay? So, one sec. Hopefully you guys can see it. If not, then, not there, but right here. You guys definitely can't see that from there. There's no possible way. So you're gonna have to trust and believe when I say that there's a ton of markings in order to indicate where the departments go or what the departments need to buy, or maybe you have to fit an aesthetic in the editing. Everything is on there. I'm kind of bummed that I can't. Let me see if I can open it on the actual browser, because that'd be amazing if I could do that. Open, because I really want to show you guys this. Open with. I can, guys. I can do it. Okay, one sec. There we go. Okay, so can I see the screen, please? There it is. Okay, got it. All right, so this is what's called a script breakdown, right? And in a moment, I'm going to show you every little neurotic marking on there, but it's actually to make sure everything is organized. So the first page we have is what each color means. So like lime green over here would be character and cast. I would depict when a character would be in shot, so the actor knows when to be in the at the set. Red is color, blue is costume, and so on. So let's scroll down. We got the title right here. Next up, so this is a screen breakdown. If you look, we have the same script we saw earlier, but there's a bunch of marks marked up. So if we're going by the legend here, then when I put day in red, it means color. I want to fit the color for that scene in the recording so that people know whether a scene is day or at night. Orange is like set design, so it's aligned with books and computers. So I want the actual scene to also have books and computers lined up. Information desk set design again, when I want to record at an information desk next to the staircase. So this sounds super obvious, but if I were to make a set entirely from scratch and I didn't put next to a staircase, then the production wouldn't know, or what am I looking for? The set designers wouldn't know to make a staircase, or they wouldn't know to make an information desk. It would just be people standing, and it would look weird and awkward. So green was character, so Juji, now the actor that plays Juji knows to come to set, approaches the information desk. A book in hand. Pink means prop, so he knows to bring a prop, or we know the prop makers know to bring a prop to set. Same thing with that. Each marking means a different thing. Purple means music, so I want to put a track here where it says Calliope Groans to the title shot. So that is an indicator for the editors. Now, a script breakdown isn't just for the active production, is also for post-production too. So you want to make sure that if you want to do a certain effect, like let's say title card imposed over shot, the editors know to do that, and they know that it's an important thing to do. So yeah, each marking means a different thing. And now you're going to see these little fractions over here. So this is also a big part of the script breakdown. You want to divide your scripts into eighths per page because it tells the actual producers, especially the script supervisor, how long a scene is. So like 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. If you were to divide it by eighths in length, if a page is 1 minute long, then a script is 1/8 of a minute. Or if I were to do the math real quick, an eighth over 60 is about 7 seconds. Check me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it's about 7 or 8 seconds. So that means that aside from the establishing shots over here, let's start with 3/8. Zoom of Juju holding the book as he drops it off. Juju drops off a book with obvious dog ears. In the corners, Kurt Bitterly takes the book enhance it to Calliope. Boom, that's 7 to 8 seconds right there. Then the next 7, then the next 7, and they build up and build up and build up. Now this is so that when we actually make the call sheet, which I'll show you as well, everybody knows how long a scene should be, and if you go over, then you have to cut it off right there. We have a limited amount of time to record, especially in a student film. We don't have Spielberg money, right? Shout out Spielberg, I guess. So next up, yeah, if I scroll down, you're gonna see it's loading, but trust me, it's more neurotic writings just to make sure everything is way more organized. And this actually really helped out during production. I did produce this already, and I'm going to show you guys, as I said before, I'm going to keep pushing it because I want you guys to watch next week. The production went smooth because of these markings. It isn't just like a little idiosyncrasy, which is just a little like nitpick or a little thing that somebody has. It's an actual thing that every professional scriptwriter does. So I'm going to show you guys a call sheet now. 1 second. Let me just vet this real quick to make sure there's no phone numbers that I don't want you guys to see. Call sheets do call for phone numbers in case someone needs to call a director or someone needs to call an actor or even like the police department and the nearest hospital. You need to put that in a call sheet as well in case somebody gets hurt. Again, if there's explosions like Michael Bay and somebody gets their arm blown off, you probably want to know where the nearest hospital is, right? So, yeah, like, let's see. Got some addresses on here. So let me show you, let's see if I can show you guys a template. I got a couple addresses and phone numbers on here, so let's not show you guys, let's not dox people. We don't do that on this channel. But let me show you what a call sheet looks like. Call sheet template. Oops, there it is, that's a good one. Okay, so let's see. If I can zoom in. Is that good quality? It's not good quality. All right, so basically a call sheet is like the specific information of like, you know, everybody on set. So that goes from the director, cinematographer, producer, all the way down to the like production assistants and the boom mic operators, stuff like that. It's everybody. So that everybody knows where they are, everybody knows when to report the set. And what I mean by that is that there's 2 times. There's the crew call and the cast call. So if a cast is late to the cast call, people are late, it happens. If a crew is late to the crew call, they can get fired. Crew always needs to be set up and ready to go so that when the cast comes in and changes into their costumes, boom, boom, pow, we get the scene done. If the crew is not there, the boom mic operator is not there, then you don't have that sound. And then you have to set up an entire new session in order to get that sound just right. You want to do it one and done. Again, everything is organized in the chaos. So let's see. Yeah, so then I can keep going with, you guys can't see it, it's too small for you guys to see, sorry, but I can describe it in vivid detail. So you also want to account for weather. If there's like an outdoor shoot and you want a sunny day and it rains, womp womp, guess you can't do that day, right? So you got to get that accounted for, you got to get the temperature accounted for, got to get the cast and crew, we already established that. You even got to get like the, what was I going to say? You even got to get the scene order intact. Like we know now, like when we're older, but when you're younger, you think, and you're thinking of people recording this, you think that it's like, oh, they recorded scene 1 and then scene 2 and then scene 3 and then scene 4. No, it's about what is convenient at the time. So if we're going to use my film, for example, Dog Ear, I actually shot scenes 1 and 2 first, then it was 5, then it was the last 2 scenes, and then back to scene 3 and 4, and then 6. It's all different orders to fit the convenience of the area that we're in. Since I'm in a public library, I can only access each area for a certain amount of time, which is why it's important to have that organized time template, and it's always important to have a script supervisor. So yeah, so call sheets establish roles, they establish contact, they establish order of production. It's very important, it's a very important sheet, which is why I'm bummed I can't show you guys, but what can you do, it's production. Let's see. So I guess I can talk about the actual production itself. So when I was shooting at the library, again, it's at a library, it was a very interesting experience for the fact that it felt way more, this is gonna be kind of a bad thing to say, I guess, but it felt way more professional than I thought it would be. So me, when I'm working, I'm a very, how can I say, detail oriented, or concise person. I'm very like, okay, you do this, and then you do this, and you do this. But when I was working with the actors, they already knew what to do. And then the students that I was working with, they knew what to do, especially the cinematographer. Thank you very much. Because he was like, oh, you want a romance? You want soft light? Okay, I know exactly what to do. And he was with me beat for beat for beat. And I was very surprised. I was very happy with the end result. The script supervisor too, she was really good at making sure that I wasn't overly perfectionist, because again, I am meticulous with my craft. So I needed somebody to make me back down. Even if it wasn't the perfect shot, I can always, edit it in post to make sure that it is where I want it to be. Production isn't just the production itself, it's also post and everything you do after to add to the thing you recorded, right? So yeah, very important thing, and it was a fun cast to work with, honestly. I hope you guys get to see them next week, because I plan to have the crew and the cast during the premiere and talk to them, so you guys can get to know them too, like I did. So yeah, it was a very fun thing to work with. We shot from morning to night. And Freddie and Dawn can tell you from the cafe show, I was tired. I was tired, about to collapse. Didn't want to go to my car because I didn't want to fall asleep driving, but I did. I got 25 minutes of sleep. That's production. But it was a fun experience. I would do it again for sure. I would work with these people again. I trust them. And the thing that people don't say the most is that production is about trust. Even if, like an actor is talented and, but they're like not mean, but like, they don't show up to set on time, or they want to like change everything, that ruins the production, because it takes away from the vision that everybody wanted, and then it replaces it with theirs. And then if nobody's happy, or if only one person's happy with the result, then how can you even call it, like a good production? So it was fun to work with them, and I made sure that they brought in their own ideas, and I showed them my ideas, because even though I'm the director, I'm also still new at this. I'm a student director, so I wanted to make sure that I had a whole well-rounded experience in learning, and that's what production is. It is learning. It's constantly learning. So I know I have to wrap up soon, but I have to say, tune in next week, because we're going to have our first film for Pitch2Production. We're going to actually have a film from Pitch2Production. It's the name of the show. It's crazy. So I want you guys to tune in, watch Dog Ear. It's going to be on Thursday at 3. Watch the show. I'm going to know if you're not watching because of analytics, but also I will be watching you watch me. Okay? So make sure to tune in Thursdays at 3. And like always, have a good day. And let me know if you'd watch it. And let me grab my handy dandy clapper. Did use this too. Best believe I used a prop on the actual set. And make sure to tune in. I usually say a little thing. I'm trying to remember what I say. Oh yeah, and that's a wrap. And we're out. You've been watching Pitch2Production. Join in next week as we keep the ball rolling and the ideas flowing.